Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Refuge from Narcissism, and this refugee video is sponsored by contribution from Julia, and here's her story. Hi, Ollie. I left a PayPal donation for this video. Your advice has helped me find some clarity in my situation with my family, and I hope this story helps others as well. I have gone as no contact as I can with my brother and his wife, but they seem to find a way to weasel back in when I least expect it. I've written to you a few times about my borderline sister-in-law and my brother, who is a son husband who lives upstairs in my parents' home, and mooch off them. Yes, your sister-in-law is the one who every holiday, every friggin' camp family gathering, storms up the stairs in a histrionic breakdown. She is the stereotypical borderline ruining everybody's holidays, ruining your day. I wrote to you how last October my sister-in-law started the latest round of drama, and she chose me and my gay daughter as her targets. She sat my mother down and told her I was the reason the family was falling apart and that I didn't like her. I confronted her and told her I didn't like her, and she was right, but not about me tearing the family apart. She threatened to run away and leave my brother. Go, bitch, go. Go. You don't gotta run. I'll drive you. I'll help you pack. See, you gotta lean into this shit. And it seems like you are. Okay? You gotta lean into this shit. Like, yes. Go, bitch. Go. My brother was so angry. Of course he was, because he's a little son husband and bitch. My brother was so angry with me, he threatened me physically by saying, let's take this outside. I tried to go no contact with them and told my mother, and I told you, because Julia's hanging in because of her mother, and her mother's the biggest enabler out of all of them on this. You can't save her. You can't help your mother here. Your mother don't want the help. Your mother wants this. I tried to go no contact with them and told my mother that if any drama was started, it would not come from me. I thought things had cooled down with the family, with me not coming for family dinners and not speaking with my brother and his wife, but I was wrong. A few weeks after this incident, my mother invited me over for dinner. The kids were there with their father, and I assumed that my brother and sister-in-law would not be there as they go out for dinner on Friday nights. However, when I arrived, I found that they were there as well. It was a trap, and that's the second you realize it's a trap, okay, you turn, you leave. It's a trap. Nope. You look, nope. One look, nope. Turn and leave. Nope. It was a trap, and I should have left right then. Exactly. My sister-in-law was upstairs during the whole dinner. It was a very awkward dinner with me talking to my parents about what the kids are doing and how my work is going, with my brother scowling from across the table. Afterwards, while we were cleaning up, my mother came up to me and put her hands on my shoulders saying, Karen hasn't talked to me for over a week. Karen? Her name's actually Karen. How perfect. How perfect. She's an actual Karen. Karen hasn't talked to me in over a week. This woman lives in my house and pretends like I'm not here. I don't deserve to be treated like this. Stop being your mother's emotional fucking douchebag. You don't want her here? Make her leave. Make her go. Make your son grow the fuck up. But she won't. It's not your problem. You are not your mother's emotional douchebag. That's what the enabler does. That's what the borderline's enabler expects from you. Expects you to be their fucking emotional douchebag. Before I could answer, she whispered, your brother wants to have a family discussion after dinner. Ollie, you said my mother thrives in the chaos of these people living in her house, eating her food, letting her cook and clean, and stressing her out, and you were right. After what happened that night, I think my mother fuels some of the chaos. She fuels all of it. All of it, Julia. All of it. I should have left, but my mother made it sound like we were going to have an open adult discussion. What in the narcissist history would lead you to believe that? This is the moment this is it. This is the moment they're going to change. It's never the moment. Never, ever, ever. The second you realize it was a trap, you should have turned and left. And you know that. And I did. And I told you, your mother is thriving in all of this. All of this. And then she expects you to play the role as emotional douchebag. I didn't think of it at the time, but now I think my mother knew this family discussion was going to happen and helped plan it. I was blindsided with this family discussion with these people, with these three people. They're always blindsided. You should have known it was a trap the second the fucking phone rang and you knew it was her. My father just went to his easy chair in the other room and ignored this like he always does. I don't think this was strictly my brother's idea. Maybe my mother just wanted the drama to end and us go back to pretending to be a happy family sitting around the dinner table. No, your mother wants it to go back and act like your sister-in-law's fucked up behavior is completely all right, and wants you to go back to the role of being her emotional douchebag, having to listen to all her complaints of how abused and disrespected she is by her son and his fucking wife. And for you to just have to sit there and take it as she sucks all your energy, all your time, all your youth, whatever she can get, just sucking off you. My brother and his wife sat down on one couch. I sat down on the couch opposite them, with my mother sitting in a chair between us like she was going to mediate this shit show. My mother says a lot of things have been said back and forth the past few weeks. There are a lot of hurt feelings. I want us to be able to sit down at the dinner table like a family again. Do you two think you can do that? Before she even got the words out, my brother spoke and said, Julia, you really hurt me and my wife. You caused Karen to have a panic attack, causing her to drive off like that. How dare you come into this house and talk to my wife like that? Go fuck yourself, you little son, husband, and pussy shitbag. Bye. Bye. Mid-sentence. Don't even say anything. Just get up and leave. Don't say anything to any of them. Just get up and leave. This is Narc 101 hoovering fucking sneak attack on you. They hoover you in for the fucking gang stalk attack. All because somewhere in your heart, in the back of your mind, you want this to be the moment that they actually fucking change. Never happening. Never gonna happen. You could have waited till I got home and we could have discussed this together. Like, hey, motherfucker, I'm a grown-ass woman. If I want to say something to your wife, I'll say something to your wife. If I want to say something to you, I'll say something to you. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to tell me how and when I should talk to fucking anybody? Go shove your fucking head up your ass, you little pussy. Pussified prick. What an ass cunt. What a fucking ass cunt. He was referring to how I went upstairs and calmly told Karen that if she had a problem with me or my daughter, that she should come directly to me and not use my mother as a messenger. When she yelled at me to leave her house, I answered her that it was not her house, it was my mother's house. Here's your mistake in addressing her nicely, or if you have a problem, come to me. Like, no, you confront her. You got a problem with me and my daughter? You got something to say to me about my daughter? Say it to me now. That's how you handle that. Because either way, Julia, either way, the reaction is going to be the same. The reaction's going to be the same. You gotta make it clear, I'm not playing your fucking game. I'm not playing your fucking game. I'm not going to stand here and argue and make believe that you actually believe the words that are coming out of your fucking mouth. I'm not going to waste my fucking time. They want to draw you into the fucking battle. And when they do, you're having the wrong battle. We're just being nice, you're being nice to her and going roundabout. Oh, come to me. No, fuck that. Gets you in the same spot, probably worse than if you just would have said what you actually wanted to say to her. What's the difference? She's gonna cry the victim anyway. She's gonna make shit up anyway. Wouldn't you just feel better saying what you wanted to say to her directly as you wanted to say it? And who gives a fuck what she cries about? Because people, when you explain it to them, they'll actually respect it. Based on her history, did she get her jobs in the medical field that she couldn't show up for? Like, there's a long history of this bitch's borderline behavior. A long history of it. Where you put your name, your professional reputation on the line for her to fuck up, not show up. I believe that's right. I'm positive that I know you got her a job, at least one. This caused her to pretend to pack some clothes and call my brother on speakerphone and tell him she was leaving and couldn't take this anymore. She had driven off in her car like she was a teenager running away from home. Should have called locksmith. Should have changed the fucking locks right there. You packed the bag, you left, you're out. Bye. This is what my brother was referring to, that I should have waited until he got home. He went on to say, you're acting like how our uncle treated our father all those years ago. Clyde would have nothing to do with Daddy until he got cancer and he was dying. I thought maybe my uncle went no contact because he didn't want to be abused by his narcissistic family. My brother went on to say that when you got married, I lost my sister. I never felt like your husband was a brother to me, and I always wanted a brother. Dude, there is some pseudo fucking incestuous shit, and I said this to you in other videos. There's some kind of pseudo incestuous shit going on with your brother. Okay? He's a son husband. Okay? That means his wife really deep down isn't much different than your mother. Or, I hate to say it, how he views you. Now, I'm not saying you're a borderline, but in his mind, okay, he feels some kind of weird incestuous possession over you. Son husbands are little creeps, man, I'm telling you. They're little fucking creeps. Weird. He started to act like he was going to cry over never having a brother. It was almost comical because I could see through the theatrics of the borderline, pretending to cry when they get their way. I let him say his piece and he continued, do you know why I asked Sean to be my best man? Because he's more to me, because he's more than a friend to me. He's a brother. Who gives a shit? Who cares? See, that's supposed to make you think somehow you're mentally deficient. Okay, because you don't think that way, that you didn't want your husband to be like a brother to him. He's trying to make you think, like everybody thinks. No, dude, that's fucking weird. Whoever you think is your brother, you don't have a brother. Like, my husband's not obligated to be your fucking brother. You creepy little douche. It's supposed to make me feel bad because your friend stood in and said, like, who gives a fuck? Walk it off, pussy. Oh, I hate weak men. I remember thinking it's not all that uncommon to ask your best friend to be your best man at the wedding. Why is this relevant to this family discussion? Because I just told you, because he has some kind of pseudo-incestuous thing with you. That's why. And he's trying to make you think your thinking is somehow deficient because you don't think the same way he does. This is how narcissists do it. They make you think you're crazy by how they present things, making you think everybody thinks a certain way that they don't fucking think. Then you're like, oh, maybe I'm crazy. I'm the fucked up one. No, you're not. Your brother's a creepy little douche nozzle. My brother's very good at turning on the crocodile tears when he needs to. He demanded to know why I had chosen to talk to his wife without him being present, like she can't speak for herself. I finally answered him by saying I was angry that you were using our mother as a messenger. You two have a problem with me, and my daughter and you went through our mother to tell me that. You sat her down for over 2 hours that night, telling how I'm the problem with everything wrong in this family, and that I'm a bad mother because my daughter said bullshit, and said because she's gay. How I parent my children is none of your business. Good. What I really should have said was, fuck off. It's none of your goddamn business how I parent my kids. Exactly. Now you're figuring it out. Because it doesn't matter how you say it to them. They're going to be the fucking victim anyway. You might as well fucking say what you feel. You might as well be upfront and put it out there and be honest. Because they're going to fucking lie about it anyway and make themselves believe that they're somehow the fucking victim. Walk away with your sanity and your fucking self-respect. That's the goal in all of this. So you can look at yourself in the mirror. So you don't have to sit there and stand there and like when you're taking a shower or you fucking got in the bathroom, just thinking about this shit like I should have said this, I should have said that. Just fucking occupying hours and days and years of your life. But I was trying to be the one not causing drama. I wanted my mother to see through these two drama queens. She sees it. She don't care. She lives for this shit. Your brother would not be with Karen if Karen wasn't somewhat like your mother. The son husband always goes with what they know. Always. My brother got angry and I could see he wanted to fly off the couch and hit me. His fists were balled up and his face was red. He almost looked like a cartoon version of himself where the cartoon character blows the top of their head off like a boiling kettle. He then said, every time someone in this house says a curse word, including your children, it's disrespectful to our parents. Fuck off. You're not my father. I'll talk any way I goddamn want. I gotta listen to her fucking just spill all her fucking emotional drama, being the emotional douchebag caused by you and your fucking wife. I will say any fucking word I want to say in this motherfucking house, pussy. Who are you? Who are you? Think about the emotional drama and the emotional baggage your mother dumps on you under the guise it's being caused by them. And then this motherfucker has the fucking unmitigated gall to tell you how to fucking talk. Go eat a bag of dicks. Nobody gets me going like borderlines. Nobody gets me going like borderlines. Oh my God. Oh my God. This video is kind of spicy. The next time one of your children says a curse word at dinner table and you don't step up to parent, I'm going to step up to be the parent they need. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? I kept my tone respectful and quiet every time I answered them because I wanted my mother to see how unreasonable they are and that I'm not the one causing the drama. But she's blind to whatever the golden child does. It's taken me a long time to realize that I'm the scapegoat. I've always been the scapegoat, and my mother does see me as the problem. And my mother does see me as the problem, or she has fallen under my sister-in-law's influence. I answered my brother again. Look, it's none of your business how I raise my children. You have no authority over them. You're their uncle. It's none of your business. The more I told him that, the angrier he got, and the more he raised his voice. I told him the conversation I had a conversation with my kids about respect and that I would like them not to use profanity around my parents. I said the kids are working on correcting their language. Karen butted into the conversation at this point and said, why do they have to work on it? They should just be able to correct their language. You're not raising your kids in a godly manner. Oh, who the fuck are you? I will not tolerate homosexuality or profanity in my presence. So she was so narcissistic at that point. I looked over to my mother, hoping she would see this, but she didn't. My dad was in the other room watching TV, and he had cursed at the television. I leaned over and yelled into the other room, "Hey, Dad, don't curse. They might get offended. It's disrespectful." My sarcasm made them angrier. At that point, my brother accused me of being gay. He said, "Why does your daughter think she is gay? Tell me the reason she thinks she's gay." I thought he was accusing me of being secretly gay. I thought I should make something up at that point, like I have a secret Russian supermodel girlfriend, but I didn't. I was trying to be the only adult in the room and keep my cool. I reminded them both that our cousins are gay men with husbands, so it must run in our family. It's genetic. That pissed him off as well, and he started to lecture me about the sin of homosexuality. You realize your brother's gay, right? You realize he's gay as fuck. Most son husbands usually are. They want another version of mommy, but what they really want is another dude. I answered by saying, "You know why I don't like you, Karen? It's because you have a problem with my daughter being gay, and apparently you don't like her language. Anyone that has a problem with my daughter has a big problem with me." See, you know what, Julia? That's a cop-out, because you got a lot more reasons why you don't like Karen. You should have laid out because you know why I don't like you, Karen? Besides the fact that you have a problem with my daughter being gay. You ruin everything. You're a horrible person to be around. You fucked me over on the job, I got you. You ruin every family gathering with your bullshit histrionics. You make everything about yourself and whatever else. That's how you handle that. That's why I don't like you, Karen. I don't like you, and I'm never going to like you. You shouldn't have been there for it. You should have, like I said, you should have walked out the second you realized it was a trap. The second you realized it was a trap. She tried to tell me some crap about love the sinner and hate the sin. At this point, my mother interrupted things and said, someone needs to be the bigger person here. It's all, and right, you. Always got to be you, right? Right? I am being the bigger person. I haven't told you what I really think. My brother interrupted and said, Julia, you owe Karen an apology. Like, they love these apologies. The borderline, they collect them. They collect apologies. It's their fucking gold chip. Because that apology turns into a club for them to use against you anytime they need to get their way. Anytime they get backed into a corner and they get away. You never apologize to the borderline, even if you're wrong. It ain't worth it. You owe Karen an apology for telling her you don't like her. You caused her to have a panic attack that day. She has anxiety from childhood and you triggered her. You don't know how upset it made her. I have had to hold her in my arms every night as she cries herself to sleep over the whole situation. We don't live in our mom's house because we want to. We live here out of necessity because we can't afford to move anywhere else. I had to stop myself from rolling my eyes because I kept thinking, if she could just get a job and stop spending money left and right, maybe you could afford to move out. He went on to say, you owe Karen an apology for causing her to have a panic attack. At this point, I thought, what the hell? Oh, no. If this will stop the insanity, I'll be the bigger person. I learned quickly that narcissists and toxic people don't want an apology. They're out for a pound of flesh. I was hoping my mother would see this, but she didn't. I don't even want to read it. I don't even want to read it. Julia. I said, Karen, I am truly... Oh, I'm turning into the fucking Fonz right now. I am truly sorry if I caused you to have a panic attack. Ugh. I feel dirty just reading it. For you. I'm not picking on you. I understand. I know why you did it. Fuck! Karen, I am truly sorry if I caused you to have a panic attack. I know what it's like to have panic attacks and to feel like you can't breathe. I have them regularly when I was married to a very toxic person. I am sorry I made you feel that way. When I said I don't like you, what I should have said was, I like you as a person, but I don't like your behavior. I knew this was a lie, but I was hoping my mother would see I was making an effort to end this. Karen responded by saying, what do you mean you don't like my behavior, motherfucker? I said, you run upstairs every time someone says something you don't like. I can't talk about anything at the dinner table without worrying about some random word or subject's going to set you off. You hold everyone at the dinner table hostage, then you have your husband demand an apology from me. This is what you should have said on the attack, Julia. Now you're reserving it for the fucking apology. You took all the teeth out of it. You hold everyone at the dinner table hostage, then you have your husband demand an apology from me. You act like a child and you need some help for that. I don't know what's going to trigger you. Well, whatever I said at that point triggered the borderline in her, because she began to yell at the top of her lungs about how there's nothing wrong with her behavior, that I'm the problem in this family. She said I was the one causing all the tension at the dinner table, that she knows my kids don't like her, and that must be my fault too. She said, and stop calling me moody. I'm not a moody person. I had to keep from laughing at that point. No, you should have laughed right in her face. You have to laugh right in the borderline's face. That's what should have happened at the beginning of this conversation. Save you shouldn't have been there in the first place. Should have seen it was a trap. Should have walked out when you realized it was a trap. And you should have walked out the second this conversation started. You should have laughed and walked out. You laugh in the borderline's face. No, you laugh right in the borderline's face. I had to keep from laughing at that point. She said we were such a happy family a year ago, and now there's so much tension in the air. She went on yelling at me in a narcissistic rage for full 10 minutes because I timed it looking at the grandfather clock behind her. She accused me of assaulting her that day. I told her I didn't like her. I corrected her and said, I did not attack you. Don't accuse me of that. She changed her words and said, well, you didn't assault me physically. You just assaulted me with your words. Okay, Karen. She is Karen. Oh, God. Perfect name. I kept thinking, yeah, like you're doing to me right now. I stayed silent and let her get her pound of flesh. I figured at this point they would be satisfied. I had apologized and told them I had corrected my children's behavior, and she yelled until her voice was hoarse. I figured this was enough, right? They had their say and we could move on. Nope, I was wrong. My mother let this whole thing play out for almost an hour. They kept going back and forth, and finally I said, I feel like there's something else you want from me. What can I do for us to come to a consensus and move on? As soon as I said that, my brother would chime in and say, the next time your kids say a curse word at the dinner table and you don't step up to parent, I interrupted him and said, he wants to hit your kids, is what he wants. Because he's angry. Because he's angry that he really can't step up to her. So he wants to take it out on your kids. He's dangerous. He's just going to do it one day, Julia. He's just going to haul off and hit one of your kids. I interrupted him and said, look, we've been over this. It's none of your business how I raise my children. It's like you're anticipating to be offended. I can't control what offends you. Only you can control whether you get offended or not. My brother said, fine, I'll just leave the dinner table and if you refuse to parent. I remember thinking that would be my first brother. That would be a first if my brother actually didn't finish a meal. I finally said, look, we're just circling the airport. We need to land this plane. What do you want from me? Neither one of them could tell me what they wanted. I don't think they knew what they wanted other than to scream at me and act like they have some moral high ground or moral authority over me. My ex-husband texted me that he was bringing the kids home from dinner, and I had never been happier to actually get a text from my ex. I excused myself and left my mother's home to go get my kids. My mother talked with me on the phone later the next day, and I told her I would not be coming back to dinner anytime soon. I said, you should have confronted your mother. Like, how dare you set me up for that? How dare you? How dare you? Don't tell me another word. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit what the bitch does. I don't care if she's burning the goddamn house down. Call the goddamn fire department. I don't give a shit. This is rough, Julia, but you better realize it, because this guy, he's looking for the opportunity to lay hands on one of your kids. That's what he's looking for. That's what he's looking for. He wants the green light to hit your children. That's what he's looking for. And wouldn't that make your mother just so happy to keep the drama going? Wouldn't that be great? Probably make you apologize to him for making him hit one of your kids. You never, ever apologize to these people. Ever. I said, as long as my brother and his wife are going to judge my parenting skills and listen to every word I say, waiting to be offended, I was not going to subject my children to that either. I said it was abusive to have someone sit at the dinner table and be silent because they know the person across the table is judging them and waiting to yell at them. I didn't realize how deep my mother is into this whole mess. She answered me and said, well, you started all this, bitch. There's the turn. There's the heel. This is where because you're not any use to her. You're refusing to be her emotional douchebag, and now the fucking mask comes flying off. Now the mask comes flying off. She's having memory... No, she's not. No, Julia, stop. She's having memory issues, and my sister and brother-in-law are in control of the narrative, living with her, or my mother enjoys the drama. I'm not sure which. Jesus, Julia. Don't stop giving her in a fucking way. It's not memory issues, Julia. She acts like every other backstabbing, enabling, flying monkey. Comes complaining about everything, she's abused and this, that, and the other thing. And then when push comes to shove, it ends up being your fault. I went on to tell my mother that until she could address her own son's behavior, that I was not coming over for dinner. She got upset and said, so I guess Thanksgiving is ruined. I said, no, you can put a stop to this. It's your house and you're letting another woman run it. She said, don't you want her to take your brother and move away? I worked with a woman whose son married a toxic woman, and she never saw her son again. I said, Mom, you're more afraid of losing your son than your daughter and granddaughter. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have a brother. She son husband him. She don't want to lose him. He's a son husband. It's sick. She said, I don't like controversy and you're accusing me of being a bad mother. I did the best I could. You need therapy. At this point, she hung up on me. Since this incident, I could count on one hand the times I've been back to my parents' house. I didn't go for Thanksgiving. I went briefly at Christmas, but that's it. No Easter, no 4th of July, no Memorial Day. I'm not welcoming her in my house as far as my brother and sister-in-law are concerned. They watched me suspiciously at Christmas, and it felt awkward. Other than that, I've been strictly no contact with them, but I didn't realize that everything I said to my mother goes back to them. They tried to pull me back into the drama. I told you to stop dealing with your mother. I told you. She's made her choice, and it's not you, Julia. It's not you, and it's not her grandchildren. It's her little son husband, where your actual father's sitting in the next room watching TV away from all of it. God damn it. She asked me how I felt about my brother and his wife having a child, and I gave her my honest opinion that they could not make good parents. Right after that, Karen sent me a long text message, like a text essay, to say I should stay out of their business. It was a trap. My mother told her everything. They have not been able to get pregnant, so now they have decided to adopt. How are they going to foster? They don't even have a house. Now they're bringing foster children into your mother's house. Julia, stay away. Stay away. Stay away. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. Your brother's going to physically abuse one of those foster kids because he's looking to hit a child. He's looking to hit somebody. Oh, Julia, you don't want any part of this. You don't want any part of this. They told the social worker they only want a white baby that is under 2 years old. All I can think is that poor child is going from one bad situation to another. They had so much to say about me being a bad parent, and now they're trying to be parents. They posted on social media they're trying to adopt and took donations from people. They are making my 80-year-old mother... They're asking my 80-year-old mother to help babysit whatever child they get because they can't afford daycare. She doesn't think they will get a child because they only want to foster children that are free for adoption and basically infants. I've had to step back because I realized this was another tactic by my mother and possibly them as well to pull me back into the family drama. I have told them I don't want to know anything about their business, but about adopting, and do not include me in any of this, including talking with a social worker if they need a reference. I don't want any part in continuing this cycle of crazy and emotional abuse. I want to keep my kids safe and keep my own sanity. I almost fell for the trap of them pulling me back in, but this battle my mother is going to have to fight on her own. At some point, she will need to stand up to them if she doesn't want to risk her health taking care of an infant. I can't be a sounding board for her any longer. I am breaking this chain before it drags me back under. Thank you again for reading my story, Ali. I've learned in the past few months that my mother is part of this cycle and that I need to distance myself even more from my family if I am going to have a shot at raising my kids without the drama of the borderline. Sincerely, Julia. Yeah, Julia. You got to keep them all out. You got to keep them all out. You're nothing but your mother's emotional douchebag. That's it. That's it. You apologize to a borderline. Like, this can't happen. This can't, because he's dangerous. Your brother's a dangerous dude. And that's just all I could say on the matter. So, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your contribution and your story. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose. And remember, you laugh in the borderline's face. You always laugh in their face and leave. Anyway, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Refuge from Narcissism. Take care, everyone.